you guys, Adrienne Dion here, and I am so excited about tonight's live lesson. We're going to be talking all about discipline hacks to ensure that you guys do not quit. So, without further ado, I'm going to share my screen so that we get to um, the lecture because I do not want to take up too much of your time. All right. So I think, or I really wanted to do this topic because for most of us, it's probably not our first time. It's not our first rodeo on this whole fitness journey. If you're like me, you probably started before and stopped, or you made a lot of progress and then ended up taking like twice as many steps backwards. And so I think it's very important for us to have the information we need to last all 2020. We want to make sure we accomplish and reach the goals that we have in our fitness and health journey, but we also want to maintain those. And so being consistent and being committed to the process is very, very important. And discipline is the way that we do that. I think for a lot of people, they make that first mistake of relying on motivation instead of discipline. And that is why by February or by summertime, they're looking for a get quick solution because they haven't stayed consistent, because they were, thinking that willpower or motivation was going to help them continue on the journey. And when it didn't, they're looking for like a panic result. So I don't want us to fall back into that same cycle over and over again. And so that is why we're going to be talking about discipline. You know, if you've ever heard any kind of self-help anything, if you've ever heard anything about success, then you probably heard discipline in that conversation. Millionaires talk about it, big moguls, celebrities, actors, everybody always talks about how you have to be, self-disciplined on any type of success journey. But a lot of people don't talk about how to do that, how to develop discipline. And discipline is just like any other skill. You can develop and strengthen it, but nobody really talks about how to do that. And so that is what I want to talk about in tonight's lesson. There are a lot of benefits of discipline. It's going to be able to help you stick to the decisions. When you create your plan, it's going to make you stay on that journey. It's going to help you say no to the donut that your friend wants you to eat. It's going to help you to get up off the couch and go to the gym when you really just rather stay in bed or whatever. Discipline is what helps you do those things. It's not being motivated, not listening to a motivational speaker, but you have to instill that discipline inside of you in order to overcome all of those distractions and all of those temptations. So, I want you guys to understand that everybody already has a certain level of discipline in some area of their life. One example of that is brushing your teeth. You don't want your breath to stink, so you've developed discipline in that area. You brush your teeth no matter what. There are a lot of times when you're pushing for time. You may wake up late, and you have to sacrifice taking a shower sometimes. But one thing you don't sacrifice is brushing your teeth. You didn't automatically come into this world doing that. You developed it over time. Same thing with using a restroom. You weren't already potty trained when you first came, but now it doesn't matter if you're in a pinch. It doesn't matter if you're driving. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. You make the time to use the restroom, to go to the bathroom and not pee on yourself. You're disciplined in that area. And so I want you guys to realize that because that didn't come automatically, think about where that came from. It came because you had to keep doing it over and over and over again. To now where it's a non-negotiable, it came because you kept doing it over and over and over again. And essentially, that's the same thing with discipline. Discipline starts with habits. It became a habit that you brushed your teeth every morning and every night. It became a habit that when you had that feeling that you say, oh, I need to go to the restroom, it became a habit and you kept doing it over and over again. And so that is where that discipline came from. So, literally, discipline, habits, when it comes to discipline, habits are the pathway to discipline. And so, if that is our foundation, if habits are our foundation, then we have to think about what habits are important for us along this fitness journey. Whenever you want to accomplish a goal, you have to first think about the habits and the routines that are required in order to get success, and then you have to build a system around that in order to implement that into your daily routine. And so that is what we're going to do. I always say that there are three questions you need to ask yourself when you want to create any habit. Now, we're going to be talking about fitness, but this is the same thing for if you want to wake up early in the morning. Any habit that you want to create, use these three questions in order to do it. Use this same process for creating habits in any area. The number one question is, what do I need to do? Number two, what will stop me? What are my weaknesses? Number three, what can I do to prevent it? And then after answering those three questions, you have all the information you need in order to create and implement your plan. So I want to use an example. Pretty much, I think it's general for most people. What do I need to do in this group in order to achieve your dream body? In order to create a lifestyle of health and wellness, you need to eat clean. You need to exercise. You need to rest. Rest is very important. It helps our body be able to kind of, God designed it to kind of work on itself, to like fix itself. And so rest is the way for our bodies to be able to go into that, fixing mode. And then we also need to plan ahead. Planning ahead is so important. And we'll get more into detail about that along the way. But those are essentially the main things we need to do in order to accomplish our goal. Another thing that I do in this first step is, if it's something that I want to do and there's someone who's already done it, I kind of look at what are the habits and the routines that this person does that helps them be able to achieve that goal and maintain that goal. So for me, when I first started out on my whole fitness journey, my trainers, Kathy and Luther, they were examples. They were someone who had accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. So I started to look at their routine and their habits. What were they doing? What were they doing that most people weren't doing? They were meal prepping. They were taking their meals with them when they traveled. They were in the gym twice a day. They were, really doing a lot of things with whatever they showed online. They were doing things that I was like, okay, I need to implement this into my life. So this is the same thing that can work for you if you're like, well, I don't really know what I need to do. Look at someone who has already accomplished it and look at their habits, look at their routine. I saw Kathy getting up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, wow, maybe this is something that I need to do so that I can, have more time to get everything that I want to get done. So look at that and use that process to answer the questions about what you need to do. But generally speaking, eating clean, exercising, resting, and planning ahead are the things that we need to do in this group in order to get what we want. Number two, what will stop me? What are my weaknesses? Now, my weaknesses may not be the same as your weaknesses. What's going to stop you may not stop me. You may have people around you that eat bad all the time. And so your weaknesses, your temptations are going to be different from mine. Maybe I live alone. So when I go grocery shopping, just not, making sure that I don't have junk food in the house may be what I need, to do so that I'm not tempted. What will stop you is going to be different from me, but you need to really, really be honest with yourself. Is it junk food? Is it your busy schedule? Is that going to stop you from eating clean, exercising, resting, and planning ahead? Is it temptations from friends? Really think about this and say, what is it that's really stopping me from doing what I know I need to do? And then number three, what can I do to prevent it? Now, if you because our brains work in this way of where like if it knows a problem, it automatically starts to think about how can I, resolve this? What's the solution to this? So I suggest that you get these questions and you write it down. Writing really helps our brain to be forward thinking, future thinking, and really come up with solutions. So, what can you do to prevent it? One of the things for me was I was I have a busy schedule and sometimes I don't have time to stop and cook. So meal prepping for me was a solution. Having ready to go healthy snacks when I'm not at home or when I can't get to my meal prep, that really helped me to stay on track. So I have like oranges and different little things that's like not easily perishable in my car, a Kind bar, something that I can eat to kind of hold me over. I have my protein shakes in a bag where I could just all I need is some water and I can shake it up and drink it and it'll hold me over until I can get to my meal prep. Scheduling a time for exercise every day. This is something that you guys I would highly suggest. You can't leave exercising or your schedule in general up to just chance because there are always going to be things to come in that's going to happen that's going to distract you. But if you have a set time that you say, hey, at 7 o'clock every day I'm going to the gym, or at 5 o'clock every evening I'm going to the gym, no matter what, you're more you're probably going to stick to that way more than saying I'm just going to get up and whenever I have time to go to the gym I will go. You'll never be successful like that. Another thing is maybe you need to make breakfast before, have a breakfast to go already ready in the morning time because you really don't like to eat breakfast and you're trying to get ready for your day. You don't have time to like go in there and cook something. Me and my best friend Cassandra, we used to make these little egg muffins so that in the morning time we could just warm those up and go. And that was our breakfast. It was something healthy. Whatever it is that you need to do in order to stay on track and it stops you from getting off track, that would be in this category. Sometimes you have to go out to eat. Like on the weekends, maybe you're gonna meet up with friends. Just because you go and eat out doesn't mean you have to eat bad. I always look at the menu beforehand. If I know where we're going, I look at the menu beforehand so I can see how can I order and still stay on track. And another tip is that just if even if they have meals already designed, you can ask them to say, "Hey, I want to get broccoli and chicken and, I don't know, sweet potatoes." You can ask them to individually put you a meal together. You don't have to do exactly what's on the menu. As long as they serve it, you can put your own meal together. So that's what I always do when I'm going out to eat. And I can still, be cordial, be social, have fun, and still stay on my plan, still stay eating healthy, eating clean. Another thing that I want to say in this is that setting limitations beforehand is also very, very, very important when it comes to creating habits. So if I say, you know, right now I'm trying to get more discipline, I'm trying to not eat sweets so much. So this week I'm only going to have two sweets. Setting your limitations beforehand allows you to be way more successful than if you were to just say, I'm going to just try my best. Because what happens is you you're not conscious of how much you're doing it. Remember in another lecture earlier I said something about what you don't measure you can't manage. Before you know it, you can be sitting in front of a TV with a bag of chips and you saying, I'm not going to eat the whole bag. You can be watching TV, you're not being conscious of it, and you eat the whole bag. So that's the same thing I'm saying about other things. Set limitations beforehand so that if you're only going to eat 2 sweets this week, you know when you got to that second one, and you know you need to tell yourself, girl, I'm not doing that no more. Like, no. So setting limitations beforehand, you don't have to cut out everything. Everything you do it in moderation, and I think you'll be good. So you don't have to cut out everything. You don't have to cut out and never, have sweets or never indulge or have some of your favorite foods. You just have to limit yourself. And so limiting yourself beforehand is very, 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 very important. And then from that information, you create your plan. And in a minute, I'm going to tell you about our focus for the week. But I want you guys to get in the habit of not letting me tell you exactly what you need to do, because like I said, you guys know your body better than anybody. I can't tell you exactly what to do. So being aware, staying conscious of what works for you is going to be the best thing for you. And the plan that I created, the focus for this week, is pretty much general for everybody. So it's nothing extreme. This is something that we're gonna build habits off of. But essentially, this plan is pretty foundational. But I want you guys to get in the habit of, creating a plan for yourself. So, um, the other thing that I was going to say is that we don't want to cut out motivation altogether. Motivation is really good. It's kind of like the gas um, for the whole consistency and discipline thing. So we want to stay motivated, and a good way of doing that is to do habit trackers. And so I have a couple pictures of some of the examples I have. One of the things I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with is the water jug. I did this when I first started because it was so hard for me to drink a gallon of water. So I would just do exactly what they did, put times, put a little funny or motivational little quote by it. You know, I saw somebody do it where they were like different celebrities. So they would start off with like somebody that was big and then go down. And then at the end, they're like Beyonce. So you can do it however you want to do it. But the water jug is a good way of tracking that habit of drinking a gallon of water every day. Another one is having 2 jars that shows how many pounds you want to lose and how many pounds you already lost. I thought this was super cute with the Lego example, but you can do it with marbles. You can just make it your own, and I think it'll be really, really cute. What I did to find these pictures was just put in habit tracker or weight loss motivation, something like that. But habit tracker, I know, will get you this information. And you can see some different ideas on Pinterest of how you can track your weight loss. Also, this little habit tracker, basically, they just wrote out all the different habits, and each day they would color in the box. For whatever reason, our brains really, really like this. It likes when you put a X on something and you have this set pattern. You don't want to break the pattern. So every day that you um, achieve or follow through with all your habits, you just mark a check. And so then the next day there's another check, and you just want to keep that going. Whatever reason is like big motivation. It really, really works. So find you a motivation, a habit tracker that motivates you, something that you can see every day, and continue to do that. What I want you guys to know more than anything else from this lecture is that the chances of you quitting does not depend on consistent motivation or inspiration. It doesn't come outside, from outside things, but on the daily habits you implement. It's what we do every day that it's going to make the difference in the end. So let's talk about our focus of the week. We're going to be doing these things. I really want you guys to start where you are. So, for example, we're all going to at least eat 5 meals per day, 3 meals and 2 snacks. For example, I would eat in the morning a protein shake and some nuts with fruit. For my snack, I might eat some strawberries. For lunch, I may eat a salad. For dinner or another snack, I may eat a protein shake after I come from the gym. And then for dinner, I may eat lentils, some greens, and sweet potatoes. So those are 5 meals. They don't have to be big meals. You can eat nuts for a snack. You can eat an apple for a snack. It doesn't have to be big, but you need to eat at least 5 meals per day. It just helps with your metabolism, and so that your body doesn't go into starvation mode. The other thing is a gallon of water per day. This is super important because we need a system. We need something to flush out toxins. And so everything you eat, our body keeps the nutrients in it. It wants to excrete the toxins, and water is what's going to do that. We're putting ourselves in contact with toxins all day, from lotions that we put on, from what we breathe in the air, from what we put in our bodies. So making sure we have a good flushing system is going to help us with our weight loss, and weight gain. Just It's just about keeping good nutrients in and toxins out. And then at least 30 minutes of exercise 3 times this week. For some of you guys, you're already used to going to the gym. You're just going to build on this habit. Maybe you go to the gym, but you're not going consistently. So you may say, I want to do it all 5 days, 5 days this week. Use that. For some people, you may not go to the gym yet. That may not be your thing yet, but you're going to walk at least 30 minutes a day, 3 times this week. Do that. Build on, start from where you are and build on that. And then we're going to spend at least 15 minutes in the sun per day. This is super important for vitamin D. Maybe next week I'll tell you my story with vitamin D, or maybe later on this week. But vitamin D is very, very important. It can change your mood. It can make you very lethargic and like have no energy. So it's very important for us to get in our vitamin D and get some sun in every day. And then at least 6 hours of sleep each night. You guys can Google the benefits of rest, but you guys know it. You know how important rest is. So at least 6 hours of sleep a day per night. And that's pretty much it. These are the habits that we want to make sure that we have as we build on them throughout through this journey, through this year. It's gonna only help us get better, but foundationally, we all need to be doing these 5 things. So let's talk about questions. I will also be doing a live QA Wednesday. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. And I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. I was trying to get back to like stop sharing. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, you can drop them anytime in the on the page, in the comments, on anything that I comment. You can DM me if you need to. I am available to you exclusively, to the people in this group. So you guys come first. I want to be there to help you guys. So if you have any questions on any of this stuff, please let me know. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.